still Tasha, and I'm still learning to bake. I'm still technically 29 and baking, and so this is going to be episode 3, which is exciting. I think a total of maybe 11 people have seen my videos so far, which is kind of cool. 11 people watched it. Today I am going to be making some lemon crinkle cookies. I've never made crinkle cookies before. I've made chocolate chip cookies. That's it. So this is my first time experiencing pure lemon extract, which I'm excited about. I already smelled it. It smells like boozy lemon. So I'm just excited to do it. They look like they're going to turn out. Hopefully they're going to turn out really cute. They're just small little round. No, you'll see. You'll see. So, and I did it a little bit differently today too. I thought I'm going to try to like save some time and see if I can save some like weird measuring ness that everyone knows how to do. So I thought I would save a little bit of time today. I'm going to try out something a little bit different. I went ahead and measured most of my stuff out first before I started talking. So maybe that'll be a little bit easier. I don't know. I feel like lemon and powdered sugar, you can't really go wrong. So I'm excited to start doing it. Let's go, I guess. Okay. So, got 2 cups of flour right here. I need to go ahead and mix in my flour, my baking S, and my salt. And I already have it all ready to go. So I need 1 teaspoon, conveniently says it right here as I'm pulling it out, of, in theory, oh geez, oh gosh, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, baking S, and then also a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Get that in there. And then I need to whisk it all together. So I'm just gonna give that a quick whisk of sorts. Okay, and then I'm supposed to set it aside. I feel like so much more cool, calm, and collected having this all measured out beforehand. So next, I'm going to need a large bowl, my trusty large bowl, and I need to add in some melted butter. So this is 1/2 cup of melted butter, melted, slightly cooled butter. Whisk the sugar now until smooth. So I have 1 cup of sugar. I'll throw that in there and whisk it up until it is smooth, it says. So we will see how that goes. Keeping it pretty easy again today. Making cookies. I think they're pretty straightforward. Chocolate chip cookies, whenever I've made them in the past, they've turned out okay. So I feel pretty hopeful about these cookies. I'm planning on trying out some more difficult recipes, I promise. I'm still in beginner mode, but I really want to try to make pie, and eventually I kind of even want to make a wedding cake. I don't know, I just think it would be fun to try to do that, like a full-on 3-tier wedding cake. Maybe I'll even try to pipe some flowers, but baby steps, you know? I need to get a mixer first. My upper lip is moist. Okay, so it's supposed to be smooth. I'm assuming that means you can't see very many sugar granules, which I definitely still can. Yeah, just says till smooth. What is this smooth that they speak of? I've made chocolate chip cookies like this before, where you do melted butter and brown sugar, and I feel like it does get pretty melted, like it's not so crunchy. It's not so the sugar actually becomes smooth. I wish they gave an approximate number of minutes. Like whisk until smooth, approximately 4 minutes. Because how am I supposed to know if I've, you know, quit before I even had a chance to start? It might take 5 minutes, maybe it takes 10 minutes. Maybe I've already gone too long, I don't know. I think I might call it and just see how it goes. If I got my measurements right. 1/2 cup butter, 1 cup of sugar. Okay. It doesn't necessarily look smooth though. Maybe I'll let it go a little further. Okay, I'm really not seeing any changes, and I think I don't see a reason for going any further because it's not even changing. Just gonna, well, maybe it's getting smoother.
Your wrist whisking, say that 5 times fast. Wrist whisking, wrist whisking, wrist whisking, wrist whisking, wrist whisking.
Yeah, okay. I'm done. Nothing's changing. Oh, okay. This is my favorite part. I love cracking eggs and separating eggs. Don't know why. I do it every day, but it's still fun. So I'm just gonna, I like to do it on the counter. I've heard that that helps keep the shell in its place, not inside the food. So we need 1 full egg and 1 egg yolk. Let me see if I can crack this in another glass. So I just need the yolk this time. Going to, got a big crack that's in the shape of a rainbow through here. It's gonna be difficult to split it in half. Be very careful. Oh, yes. I should try to use my hands sometimes. Sometimes I want to do that. It will probably be quite a bit easier. Oh, yes. It's working. No! The yolk broke. Luckily, I did, for some reason, set out 3 eggs earlier because they're supposed to be at room temperature, which is something I should have mentioned. So, I don't, that's fate, magic. So, we're out of luck if this one breaks. Maybe I'm hitting it too hard on the counter. Are you okay, Mr. Yolk? Please do not break. We're good. Oh. Okay. I'm going to add my full egg and my 1 yolk to my sugar butter. And I imagine I'm supposed to combine this. Mix, it says. Get those mixed in. I really would like to learn about the science behind baking. You know, what does the egg yolk do? I'm much better at learning things if I can understand, like learning how to do things, if I can understand why I have to do what I do. I think that I become so much better at a thing whenever I understand the background of it and understand all the reasons why. Okay, it's looking smooth now. Maybe because I had a little bit of time to rest while I was messing up the egg. Okay, so that looks pretty well incorporated. It's nice and yellow. Now it's time to add the extracts, which I did not pre-measure. So I'm going to measure those out now. So a teaspoon of lemon extract and 1 teaspoon of trusty vanilla, making a cameo once again. My friend Vanilla. Lemon juice. So this is 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Approximately 1 small mound, 1 tablespoon of lemon zest. Extract lemon juice and zest. Mix. Okay, mix these in. Ooh, I'm really excited about these. Now I'm supposed to mix in my dry ingredients, and they're all right here from whenever we whisked them together earlier and set them aside. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add it all in. Mix it up. You're supposed to mix until a dough forms, and you may or may not, I may or may not me to use my hands to form the dough if it's having troubles coming together, which I think that's what happened with my scones. If you guys remember episode 2, whenever I was making scones, I was having trouble getting the dough to come together, and then as soon as I started using my hands, it all of a sudden magically formed into just a nice one consistent dough. So it's so strange. I wonder what that is. I wonder what it is about using your hands that really helps it all join up and have a party. And I don't want to overmix, I'm sure, like usual. I don't know if it matters as much with cookies as it does with other things, but it is, I think, you know, you're trying to avoid gluten forming. This feels pretty wet. Oh, jeez. This doesn't feel like a dough. Ugh. I mean, it feels like cookie dough. Really, really want to eat some. It's really wet. What type of dough am I looking for here? Okay, there would be no way that I could use my hands to mix this all together because it is way too wet and it's just going to cover me. So I don't know if I need to add more flour or not, but I'm not going to add anything else because I feel like I'm going to go over the top and I might add too much. I'm not going to deviate from the recipe. Maybe me and the recipe creator use a different flour measuring method. I mean, I like to think that I use the correct method, which is, you know, scoop and level in, but I know everybody does it a little bit differently. I'm not saying anything bad about the person who wrote this recipe. It has really good reviews. It's another one with really great reviews. So, now I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm just gonna stick with the plan. I'm not gonna go away from it, and then maybe if it doesn't go well, I can make it again later and add more flour if that happens. But I do want to see what happens without adding more flour. Just gonna give it one more mix with my spatula just to make sure that I've gotten everything. Ooh. I mean, I just don't know if that means I should keep mixing it and then eventually it'll sort of firm up a little bit. Like I said, I definitely can't use my hands. Okay. I'm just gonna call this. Okay. So there's this. Okay. This is as much as I'm gonna mix it. The next step is to put it in the refrigerator for 2 to 4 hours. So I'm going to do that. It is 3:53 p.m. right now. I may or may not, I have something to do later, so I might have to finish up these cookies whenever I get back from my something to do. So maybe I'll see you after I do some stuff. Hopefully it's within the 4-hour time frame. So what do I have? So I have until 8 o'clock basically. I wonder if that matters too much. Probably not. So I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator. I guess I'm just gonna leave it uncovered. Didn't say anything about covering it. I will talk to you guys after that happens. So it is much later now. I went and spent some time with the friend with the clean oven, and it was awesome. So it's a little bit past the 4-hour mark. Hopefully it's not detrimental if you go a little bit longer than 4 hours, because if so, then we might have some issues, but I think it's gonna be just fine. So now I'm supposed to, by the way, I've been like outside and not exactly put together at this point, but I still want to finish the video today. So I am going to roll my dough that's been in the fridge for well over 4 hours now into 1-inch balls, and I'm supposed to roll each of the 1-inch balls in powdered sugar. So I'm supposed to coat all sides in it, and if you give me just a second, I will show you what it looks like now that it's come out of the fridge. I did end up covering it while it was in the fridge because I thought it might be a little bit weird to just leave it in there indefinitely without anything on the cover. I was afraid there might be without anything on the cover, without anything over top. I didn't want there to be any sort of like dryness or film on top. Give me just a second and I will show you what my cookies look like right now. All right, here's the big reveal. Ta-da! Lemon crinkle cookie dough. It's very yellow. It's very tasty. So now, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and roll these into 1-inch balls and then throw them into powdered sugar and put them on this giant parchment lined baking sheet, and then we're gonna bake them. So I will show you in just a moment what the balls look like, and yeah, I'll show you before I roll it in the I'll show you rolling it in the powdered sugar. I don't think I could actually roll the balls and show you that because I need both hands, but I will show you the powdering sugar. You know what I'm saying. 1 second. I went ahead and made the balls of dough. Not really sure the best method to do it, whether it's just make the ball, put it in the powdered sugar, then on the tray. But I thought it might be easier to just complete one step at a time. So I made all these, and I'm just gonna go through and take them individually, drop them in powdered sugar, roll it around. Ooh. Ooh. Give it a little shake. And then they're supposed to just go 2 inches apart on the baking sheet, so I'll get as close to that as possible. And then the oven is preheated at 325. So whenever we come back, all of these will be powdered, and then they will go into the oven, and I'm so excited to try one. Okay. We've got fresh powder and a little for the counter too. So they're all covered in powdered sugar. I'm going to put them into the oven now for 10 to 12 minutes. I'm just gonna put those right in there. My friends. Okay. And remember to set a timer. I'm gonna start with 10 and go from there. I don't know about you guys, but I much prefer a really, really, really soft, chewy cookie. I like a little bit of a crisp around the edge and then really, really, really soft and gooey in the middle. Like if I've made chocolate chip cookies, I underbake them because well, not underbake. I just barely bake them because I like them to be almost underdone. So I don't know about you. How about you? How do you like your cookies? Are you a crunchy cookie person? Soft cookie person? In this case, we're going to be a crinkly cookie, so the powdered sugar is supposed to crack and the inside of the cookie is supposed to expose a little bit. It's going to make these little 90s crackle lines all over them, which hopefully that happens. So we'll see whenever they're done, of course. It says 10 to 12 minutes until the edges are set and the middle is no longer jiggly. So I'm assuming it's going to be kind of like the other cookies I made. I'm just going to pull them out in about 10 minutes. And I feel like that's going to be enough time. But we'll see whenever we get there. See you then. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. So let's give these a check. Oh. Well, they're a little more spotted than crinkled. Huh. Weird. And they've conjoined just a tad. I have a whole 4 quarters right here. They do feel just set on the edges and not jiggly. I think I'm going to give them the last 2 minutes. So I'll see you then. I'm kind of sad that they're all stuck together and the crinkle part, I definitely think they spread too much. Perhaps that's because I left them in the fridge for so long. Okay. Curious to see what the final result of these cookies are. While we're waiting on these last 2 minutes to finish up, I just wanted to talk about something really fast. So my friend with the clean oven, she told me that she so kindly told me that in episode 2 apparently some of the audio is missing. I watched that video I don't know how many times, but I guess maybe I should have watched it one more time after or before I put it up on YouTube because apparently some of the sound is gone. So I'm sorry. I need to go through and watch that at some point tonight maybe and try to, I don't know if there's anything I can do about it at this point. Maybe I'll insert captions. Try to guess what I would have been saying. Just want to say sorry about that. I hope that it wasn't anything super profound that I was saying. So sorry about that. I'll make sure that that does not happen again. Learning. Okay, I think I'm just gonna pull them out now and just let them sit, because I know they'll continue to kind of cook as they sit out. And it does recommend that you let them, the recipe recommends that you let them cool completely before eating them. It's weird because almost all of the powdered sugar dissolved. Almost all of it dissolved. And in the photos, they were about, in the blog, yay big, and they were nearly completely covered on the surface with powdered sugar with just some nice little cracks here and there. They were pretty thin cracks. So that's interesting. I think it must have had something to do with letting them sit too long in the refrigerator. Maybe that's why they spread so much more, or they could have even gotten too warm as I was rolling them, because it is pretty warm in here right now. And so they just spread a whole bunch instead of keeping their shape, and the cracks turned into entire holes between the powdered sugar. So hopefully they taste good. I'm sad that they don't look as cute as they did in the photo, and they're all kind of, should have spaced them further apart or used 2 baking sheets. So feeling a little sad, but I'm sure they'll taste good. Looks aren't everything. My cookie, my flying saucer, is mostly cooled now. It looks a little strange. It has little holes all over, and it's kind of thin and doesn't look very tasty. I wish I had a photo that I could show you from the recipe, because it looks very different there. So I really am just not sure what went wrong. I've been thinking about it. I think it could be, so of course if anybody watches this and they have any ideas, please let me know. But without doing any research, I think maybe it could be from all the mixing I did of the butter and the sugar, or again just for leaving them in the fridge for a little bit too long. I definitely want to try to make these again though, because I know that this isn't correct. I'm excited to try it, to taste it, to see how it tastes, but yeah, definitely gonna try it again. Like, look at pulled it apart. It has a bunch of little holes and gaps in it. Weird. Okay, let's give it a taste. Taste lemony, not very sweet. I wish there was a little bit more powdered sugar. Maybe I could sprinkle some more on top. Maybe that's what they did. Nah, I don't think that would help. It's, it tastes alright. It tastes like there's a lemon flavor, and it's chewy, it has a crispy edge, and it definitely doesn't taste gooey or anything like that. It's more cakey, kind of, but I mean, I'll eat them. It's not the best thing I've ever had. It's so weird. I wonder what happened. Well, I think I'll give these maybe a 5. They're also kind of oily. Melted a bit in my hand here. Okay, give these a 5 out of 10. Something went wrong at some point along the line, so I'm excited to try making them again. But hey, it was fun to do, and I maybe learned a lot. We'll see. Whenever I go to make them again, I will follow the instructions to a T, and I won't let them sit in the fridge any longer than they're supposed to. And I don't think I'll be mixing it so much. I already said all that. Time for me to get out of here. I'm just gonna shut you off and go on with my night. Thanks for hanging out with me while I made some lemon crinkle flying saucers, and I will see you in the next episode. Hopefully it goes better. Okay, bye.